Sincerely, I learned about her, and ungrudgingly do I share. Her riches I do not hide away, for she is an unfailing treasure. Those who gain this treasure win the friendship of God, being commended by the gifts that come from her discipline. Because wisdom is the divine feminine. She is the breath of the might of God and the pure emanation of all there is. Her tradition is firmly lined out in the Book of Wisdom, which was written in Alexandria in about 50 BCE. More importantly, it's mine at the vote, better known as the path of the rose. So if you want to know more about how we strengthen our connection with wisdom, then rock with me as we take the journey within. What up, though? It's Justin, welcoming you back to discuss one of my favorite topics. So when we start looking into the concept of the divine feminine, a lot of Christians feel like they're missing out, right? They feel like we don't have a connection with the rest of the spiritual community and can't really bring themselves to dive into the topic of divine womanhood. That's in part because Aramaic phrases like Hokimah Elacha aren't commonplace in Sunday schools, and partly due to hardcore misogynist undertones in the modern day American Protestants. In fact, this is why a lot of people of other spiritual traditions flat out don't like Christians. But instead of getting into all of that off the bat, I feel like it's better to ask ourselves why we should open up to God's femininity. Instead of speaking for her, I'm just going to break you off with a few lines from Proverbs chapter 8, where the OG of all magi, Solomon, drops a few gems. When he fixed the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him as artisan. I was his delight by day. She's baby to God, the first begotten being of all, the literal artisan of everything. An Akkadian, that's a Manu. Legendary heroes and sages brought divine gifts to humanity through this medium we now call the divine feminine. She is the breath of God, the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the Holy Spirit to the rest of y'all. So why is she rejected? Again, forget evangelicals because they're not our concern. What I want to know is, what are your first thoughts on womanhood? You see that? Start journaling out what you mean, because that's what this is. It's my journal. So what has society taught you about women? What does it mean to be a man or to be a woman in your country? What does it mean to not identify with either gender? Get into it from as many different angles as you can. Think of the Hail Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God, in contrast to your own mother. What impressions did your mother give to you? What did she teach you about femininity? Think it through and scribble it down. What are some of the core beliefs you hold that don't show mothers in a favorable light? Find any negativity you may possess surrounding females and get it on paper. Are there microaggressions or unintentional behaviors you express in front of women that may reflect some deep-seated aggression or animosity towards women? Do feminazis irk you? Why? Does a woman discussing her biological cycles bother you? If she pulled out a nipple and fed her infant in a public setting, would it upset you? What concepts are you holding on to that would oppress the divine feminine? You got to dig deep and figure out exactly how you actually feel about feminine energy if you're ever going to hope to bring balance between feminine and masculine energies within you. So be thorough. There are no wrong answers here. This is a matter of personal discovery and learning. Old paradigms run deep, and unless we can learn to see them for what they are, we will never grow past them. Once you've looked into your personal convictions and understand the social conditioning and belief systems you have regarding femininity, you're ready to read about wisdom and see what members of the spiritual community in Alexandria believe to be true about this aspect of Godhead. I'll leave access to the specific chapters I'm about to read from in the description for you below so you can find it for free at your earliest convenience. But the author tells us, in her is a spirit intelligent, holy, unique, manifold, subtle, agile, clear, unstained, certain, never harmful, loving the good, keen, unhampered, beneficent, kind, firm, secure, tranquil, all-powerful, all-seeing, and all-pervading of all spirits, though they be pure and very subtle. For wisdom is beyond all motion, and she penetrates and pervades all things by reason of her purity. Now, how does that compare to your personal concept of femininity? You see where the work comes in, right? We men definitely tend to be a bit slow on this one, but I promise you, Solomon is 100% correct. We should seek her like silver, and like hidden treasure, search her out, because we'll never go without the friendship of God again if we do. That's all for now. We'll get into how to awaken our conscious awareness of her and discuss the infilling of the Holy Spirit in the next one. Construct a temple at the heart of the rose and all that. Until then, keep breathing in light and living in love. 100.